Hi, Cynthia.
Hey Jen, how's it going?
It's going great. Today, we are going to be talking about how to hire your first VA.
Which you both have experience in.
Yeah, we both have experience. We both have teams, so we don't just have a VA,
Yes,
but we both have teams. I just
yes.
always love to have full disclosure. We're not doing all this by ourselves. But we both recognized that we could have used this advice that we're going to talk about before we hired a VA. So, in terms
Totally.
of timing and everything. So, yeah, let's go ahead and dive in.
Welcome to the Marketing Duo podcast, the podcast where marketing experts Cynthia of Digital Bloom IQ and Jen of Jen Vasquez Media come together to share their wealth of knowledge and insights on scaling your business.
Each episode, Cynthia and Jen dive into the latest marketing strategies, mindset shifts, and also growth tactics specifically designed for ambitious female founders who are tech savvy and eager to enhance their marketing game.
Whether you're looking to fine-tune your approach or discover innovative ways to accelerate your business, the Marketing Duo podcast provides actionable tips and inspiring conversations to help you reach your goals.
Tune in for a blend of practical advice and empowering discussions tailored to help you thrive in the ever-evolving digital landscape.
Yeah, okay, so the reason why I like this topic is that, and we were just talking about this, is hiring your VA can happen much, much sooner than probably what you think it needs to happen. And I had, I would say even like 4 years into my business, I had a perception of like I would be making a certain amount of money, and over time, what I realized is like there's so many things that need to get done in your business. It's just like practically there's a lot of things, right? And if you're doing marketing, if you're doing content marketing, if you're doing SEO, if you're doing Pinterest, like those things start to add up, right? Like downloading the pins, uploading them to, doing all, and yes, we have shortcuts now with AI and stuff, but it still takes time. And then you're actually serving your clients. And I think what happens with a lot of business owners where they get frustrated and they think about quitting is they're like, I'm a coach, I'm a therapist, or I'm a service. Like, what am I doing with pins? Like, I don't want to pin, right? And so they get stuck there. I don't know, Jen, how do you feel? Like, do you think that's where they get like the
So
friction?
I think there's two things. One, I think they don't know if they have the money and the commitment to hire a person. They don't understand, FYI, that you can hire a VA for 5 hours a week. Like they think it's going to be full
Yeah.
time or a part time, and that is.
Yeah.
I told my VA back in 2020 when I first hired her, I said, let's go ahead and, do some part-time hours, but I don't know how long I can afford that at this point because I'm still building. And she's like, well, why don't we just do 5 hours a week? And I'm like, what? Like it didn't even enter my mind. I think it's so important to recognize that you don't have to do that, right? You can do 5 hours a week. My VA also had worked with someone for, I think it was 4 hours a month. So it was like 1 hour a week. And I don't even
Yeah.
remember exactly what she was doing, but I think people are limited on the money they think, or people don't want to hire because the time it's going to take to train someone
Train.
is too
Yeah.
overwhelming. I think those are the two biggest things that I hear from clients.
Yeah, so let's talk about them. So, like you just said, Jen, it can be literally a few hours a week or a month. And like maybe some VAs, there's all sorts of
Of course.
VAs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
first, I would say the first step is like identify the tasks that you don't like to do. Like, make a list of all the things you're not really lit up by. You can also make a list of the things you do like to do. And on top of that, or like parallel to that, write out the things that are going to really move the needle for your business, aka, generate some money. So this could be some content marketing if that's how you see your clients are coming in. Maybe it is more referral marketing. For a lot of us when we start, referrals are really powerful, and so there could be some ways a VA could help you with emails or following up with people. So I think identifying those things, because I think the other overwhelming part of this is like, yeah, there's lots of things I need to quote unquote should be doing, but what is going to really move the needle? Because if I'm going to hire someone, I'm basically wanting to make more money from that time.
Yeah.
Another really great example is like you have, you're again a coach or something, and you just don't have time to do some of the admin with your work. Like, yeah, it could be inbox support or something like that. And you could use that time that you hire a VA to do more sessions. Like that's another example of like
Mhm.
literally trade your
Making
time.
money.
Yes, a VA's hour is going to be less than your hour in some cases, unless you're a VA, right? Then, although VAs hire other VAs. Anyway, it's a whole rabbit hole of VAs. But yeah, you can like just, if you literally think about it, like if I was using this time to be with a client, like I'd just be making more money and then I'd be paying someone.
Yeah. I will also
Um,
point out too that like when I first hired her, I was like I wanted to hire her to do everything, but that wasn't going to happen,
right.
right?
Yeah.
What I ended up doing, which is a little different than what most people do, hiring out for the things you don't like. I hired out for the things that take me time, whether I like them or not,
Yeah.
that I could be then
Yeah.
spending with my clients instead. So I would, to
Exactly.
create pin graphics or to create just any kind of graphics, right? I love playing in Canva like the next person. Is it where I should be spending my time? No, it's not
Right.
worth it. If I spend 2 hours designing graphics, that is a waste
Yeah.
of my business. So while I like doing it, I'm also not very good at it, if I'm being honest.
Right.
Like the things she makes for me, like light me up, right? Like I'm like, what was I doing?
Right.
So I ended up hiring her to do graphics, like to have all my
Right.
graphics match and to create templates that I could then go in and put new information on so I don't have to reinvent the wheel, right?
Exactly.
The sky is the limit for what they can do. Some people hire a bookkeeper to keep track of their finances because that's something that most people hate. I can't stand it. But you don't have to go to those types of things. You can think about like I know myself, I need to be in my inbox. I probably shouldn't be in my inbox, but I feel the need to be in my inbox. But at some point, I'm gonna let her take over that. And then, like, just that alone will give me some peace of mind. And it is a very big time suck just looking at email every
Totally.
day.
Yeah, and I get it. Like we're still gonna get distracted. Like today I was scrolling on Instagram and it was like, why am I? And it was just like my brain needed a break. And so that's what I
Yeah.
go to. Like that's still gonna happen, right? But
Yes.
again, if you can make a list of like what are the things that need to get done, like really need to get done, that are gonna really move the needle for you or free up time so that you're doing the things that you need to, like something as simple as like I have now a VA. I just actually this week had her help me with our clients. We have Fathom, the note taker, and like all I'm asking her to do, and this is still really helpful, is she's taking the Fathom, recording the transcript, she's adding it to our project management system, and then she's using AI to like define all our follow-up steps because during calls clients will request things or like there's details confirmed and like yeah I have like notes but things fall through and so she's like literally creating kind of like an action
It's a
plan
backup
and
plan
that
for not writing down something that we need to write down. Oh, yes.
yeah or document creation like if you're a service provider I'm sure you create documents for your clients like all those things that it's like copy pasting things like if you're copy pasting like spending most of the day copy pasting things there's something that needs to be updated there
Yeah.
I it's like you said Jen like I think we don't really know it until we or like meeting agendas like this week I was also playing with a VA because we have internal meetings as a team and like where our meetings are so much more efficient when we have an agenda but the key is to send the agenda a few days before because then people come
Yes.
to the call and so I had her literally build the agenda based off our project management system with pending items and it was insane like a call that usually takes over an hour we were done we didn't have anything else to talk about in 30 minutes we were like I guess we're done
That's
okay got bye
amazing.
guys so those are like again I'm an SEO agency those are the tasks that are moving the needle for me and like that's what you just when you're the business owner you just do everything like that's what you're used to it's like you just do everything and you need to start to question that like what am I spending my time on because it's like the inbox is easy because you kind of just respond but what is the thing is going to really move the needle
Yeah.
for your business
Sometimes it's the things that we don't even think about that can give us the biggest result, right? The time I
exactly
spend recording podcasts or education content, which by the way, that's the stuff I want to do. I just want to be on camera helping
Yes.
people. Like that's what I love, right? If I could just do that, oh, can't even imagine. But like just downloading this video, uploading it to YouTube, making a cover photo because I gotta have it look pretty, and then sharing it with the person that needs to see it. Like all of that takes time. Like that's something I'm working
Totally.
on to get my VA to help me with, because that's the thing that I feel like I slug through it and then I'm behind and then I have to go back and try to find it. Like it's just not helpful.
Yeah. Well, it's not what you're meant to do. Like, I think that that's not your sweet spot, right? And so it just can be hard because you still like those things need to get done. I think the other part of this conversation is like just really sit down and say what actually needs to get done. Like, could you, for now, if you're doing like, yeah, SEO blogging, could you do, instead of 2,000 words, just write a 500-word blog post? So there's like certain things, or like with Instagram, maybe you don't, maybe your normal publishing is 3 times a week. And then there are intensive periods where you're doing every day or every other day or whatever. But I think we forget that we just don't question ourselves of like, what am I actually committing to here? And it's okay to have seasons, right? Seasonality, especially if like it's spring break or something. Like I want to spend time with my kids this week, or like
Yes.
there's vacation. Like think about that stuff. And again, you could have a VA help you prepare for that. When I was pregnant, I spent so much time like pre-recording stuff,
Yes.
and I had a lot of help from a VA to like schedule stuff out. And so I was able to enjoy that, that moment, which is once in a lifetime. Like you never get that time back.
And then the last thing I think that we should touch on in this conversation is money mindset, right? A
Yeah.
lot of people are like, I'm barely bringing enough in to like support my life. How can I, XYZ hire this person? But if you
Right.
consider, if you get like a $5 Starbucks coffee every day, and after 7 days, that's like $35, you could have a VA for maybe an hour or two, depending on where you hire them, where they live, all the things,
Right.
right? I would give up that Starbucks coffee to have someone help me and actually save me time. Then it may be worth it. So you have to figure out where you are mindset wise, because I had a hard time letting
Yeah.
go each week of money that I'm like, but I could have done that. But then my life would
Yeah.
have been worse because I would have no time to live, right? Like so, like you do have to you do have to dig in a little bit on the mindset and consider the ways that you can, versus what most people do is considering all the ways you can't do it.
It's
Flip
so
it around.
tricky, right? And I get it. Like you're a business owner, like if you're on a tight budget, but you need to start somewhere. I think the best advice is like just if it was an hour a week or 2 hours a week, what are you spending your time on? And it also starts with like maybe track a little bit of your time and see what do you actually spend your time on, like if you're not doing that already. And then to look at what are the things that are moving the needle, right? And how am I getting in front of more people? Like, how am I, like, what marketing do I want to invest in? So suddenly, instead of thinking of it as a cost,
Yes.
you think it as an investment to grow your business. Like, for example, I have one VA who actually, one of my own VAs pitched me today saying, Cynthia, I really think we need to do cold emailing. I used to do cold emailing. It hasn't worked for my agency up until now. And
But
I've
if she
had a lot
wants
of
to
doubts
try
about it.
it,
She wants to try it. And so I'm like, okay, like let's talk about budgets. And so we're going to maybe try it. So I just feel like any VA who's going to help you get more clients at the end of the day
yeah.
within what your goals are right now. And getting more clients could look like a lot of things, right? And that could look like a lot of things in the short term and the long term. Like I have one VA who is doing podcast stuff for me right now because podcast gets me clients. Now, is it the same as a cold emailing campaign? No. But like, again, if you are looking to grow, you can think about the short term and the long term strategies you're using to build your business, and you could have a VA work on one or both, depending on your budget. And just, yeah, and VAs, that's what they want. Like they just want a few hours in some cases. You don't need to build like a whole employee
Yeah.
situation.
And I will give a piece of advice that I got before I hired a VA that was super helpful. Screen record what
Oh,
you
yes.
do in a process
Hmm.
that you're wanting to give up. Record
Yeah.
everything and then write down any things that maybe wasn't recorded that is or not obvious, right? Or whatever. These
Yeah.
videos are a library of SOPs, standard operating
Yep.
procedures, how you do something in your business. And I just sent her videos and she did it. I didn't even need to do training time. If there's questions, of course there's questions.
Oh,
But it's if you want to
amazing.
save time, you record those because the other thing that you can find from recording that is that like my VA, who's amazing, holler Angeli, she has pointed out, would you mind if I tried it this way instead? And I'm like, no problem. And she got it done twice as fast, and it was more effective.
Exactly.
That's saving me money.
Yeah.
And she's a lifer now, right? Like she's already saved me some money. I've literally
Right.
referred her as a VA to no less than 15 people since 2020, all booking her
Yeah.
clients. She's like super happy about it. But being prepared for that process will help you when you're super busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Start now. Like just, I started before I had a team. I like the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. I would record 5-minute Loom videos of me clicking around.
Yep.
And like sometimes it felt silly, but now I have like a
A
pretty big
library.
library,
Yes.
and I'll pull things that I recorded 3 years ago when I wasn't working. And I'm kind of like, whoa, like this was me believing in that support. Right. And
Yes.
of course, like if it's like how to set something up that changes all the time, don't record a Loom
No,
video.
no, of
Right.
course not.
Like it's a process, kind of a process training. And you can also use ChatGPT to help you. Like if you wanted an inbox support VA, maybe I'm going to do this because I'm also struggling with the inbox thing. I feel like it's such a complex task.
I
I'm like,
know.
how would I get someone? But I'm going to ask after our recording, like, how could I have a VA help me in my inbox? And like, just getting ideas, and maybe it's just an hour a week.
Yeah. Whatever helps. Like I was saying, even 5 hours a month or 4 hours a month, you'd be shocked at how many VAs would be wildly open to doing that.
I know it's such a nice feeling when you get that support, right?
I felt really confident that I had a VA, I had a team. There is something
Yeah.
that to be said for the confidence also in that you're a smart business owner and that you have a team to help you. Like even a little
Yeah.
bit before you're ready, those 4 hours, you still have a
Yeah.
team.
Oh my God. Yeah. Take the leap before you're ready. Don't wait. It's going to feel a little uncomfortable. It's going to feel so. I just hired my first SEO experts, and it was so uncomfortable because it was literally like allowing someone to see my like recipes in my kitchen, and there's like a stack of dishes, right? And I'm like, this is awkward, like it's messy. But now, like, it's amazing because I'm like working in a team, or how we're working, the value of our work, and my time is freed up to do other things. So
You're stepping into
it's
being a CEO and not an entrepreneur. I feel like that's really that next level. And if you
yeah,
start doing all the things we talked about now, and when you hire someone, it made light years of growth happen in a shorter
yeah,
period of time, too.
exactly, totally.
Awesome. All right. Well, we will see you next week. Do all the things like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, all the stuff. And we'll see you next week.